Karen has come home crying. As she comes in the door and slams it, she begins to run up the stairs to her bedroom, crying and screaming. Karen's mother comes out of the kitchen and sees the bedroom door slam. Rather than going up the stairs, she goes back in the kitchen and mutters to herself, "Least said, soonest mended." Ignoring the emotional pain of your child is not part of healthy parenting. It's emotional neglect. If Karen's mom had talked to her, she might have found that Karen has been seriously bullied the entire school year. She is friendless. She sits by herself during lunch, and sometimes the other teens throw food at her or call her skag or pour food in her lap. Karen really needs help, and her mother knows something's wrong but is ignoring it. Why is this happening? Does Karen's mother not love her? The reality is, Karen's mother was a victim of abuse and neglect growing up. She doesn't want to be involved in any type of physical abuse of her daughter. She's determined to be different than her own parents, but she doesn't know what to do instead. So what she's doing is neglecting her daughter. What they both need is help, mental health help. And what might this look like? A therapist or counselor might help Karen and her mother look at each other when they're talking. Learn to listen to each other rather than plan their own arguments. Listening to someone is not the same as agreeing, but it means that you are paying attention to their point of view, what they sound like, what their bodily movements are, so you really get their emotions and understand what they're saying. Does this mean that Karen's mother has to agree? No. Mom will get her turn to talk about her point of view, and Karen will need to not interrupt, but to learn to listen so that she can understand, if not agree, with her mother's point of view. Neither Karen or her mother are likely to know what to do about the bullying at school. The mental health practitioner is there to help, and it's going to seem very uncomfortable for at least 4 sessions to talk to a stranger about something that's deeply painful to you. Karen's deep pain comes from the serious bullying she's getting at school and the feeling she has in her heart that her mother really doesn't love her or care because her mother never pays attention to her pain. Mom, on the other hand, is spending all of her efforts trying not to act with anger and aggression towards Karen. This isn't leaving her any energy for doing something different. It's not going to be easy to work through these problems with the therapist, but particularly mom is going to need a counselor or therapist who understands the impact of violence and trauma on development and knows why it's going to be hard for Karen's mother to learn not to be neglectful, that there's a difference between paying attention and being physically violent, that there's a difference between listening and compromising and neglecting.